Joe, how are you? How
Hi
was your
Kate,
summer?
it's good to have you here first of all.
Thank
So
you.
let's do
Thank you for having me here.
a chin chin. And no, it was good. My summer was great. We did this trip to San Sebastian. No, we went there by car. We did a few stops in the middle. No, so we had the chance to visit a lot of amazing places. We go through France. No, and it was really fascinating.
Also artistic places?
In terms, depends, no? It depends what you mean by artistic places, but we end up in very good, like Renoir paintings or like Impressionist paintings where they used to go outside of the city, no, in the countryside, and where you can actually, I mean, it wasn't that touristic, no, so I fell in love a little bit with that area and I found it inspiring, no, but maybe not that artistic as we can think. Then San Sebastian, that it's an amazing city, no, north of Spain, close to the ocean, so it was there
You
we
surfed a
went.
little bit, or
No, I couldn't.
you're not a sports
I say that there wasn't the waves, enough waves, but the truth is that I cannot surf. Anyway, no, I think San Sebastian was amazing, and that was a little bit more cultural, no, because we went through some museums, we went through to the Guggenheim also, Guggenheim Museum, the Bilbao one, and it was crazy, a bit of figurative painting, you know, in San Sebastian, because the museum of the city is pretty historical and old, and some of contemporary art, you know, in the Guggenheim, amazing. There was this exhibition of Richard Serra that was pretty strong. Huge place, the Guggenheim.
Is he figurative? I don't know him.
No, it's super conceptual. It's almost a sort of land art in the museum. So it was the whole exhibition was set to be into the museum. No, so it was an amazing collaboration.
Do you appreciate contemporary art?
I like it. Yeah, I like that people have point of views, no, about everything, and it's nice to develop the point of views. It's true that nowadays, for me, contemporary art got a little bit corrupted, no, in the art world in general. So I would still prefer, no, an art that's more painted, more. It's a little bit more solid, no, in terms of process, in terms of not a lot of the research, but still I think it's my kind of art, no, the thing that I like.
Have you ever experimented at all with contemporary art or this kind of conceptual?
Actually, I started, no, I got fascinated by art from conceptual art, no, so I was in love with Malevich, no, white square on white background, and it felt amazing because he wrote like 3-4 books about that, no? So it's not just putting into a canvas something, but it's really developing a thought that can change the goal of art itself, no? So I love conceptual art. I like the art when it's also a bit more provocative, no, in a way, because I always appreciated the field of the graffiti, of all that side of the art, that it's a little bit more provocative in that sense.
Were you a graffiti guy?
I tried with not a lot of success, obviously, no, but
What is success in graffiti or street art?
well, it's really bringing your name, your tag, no, in the city, and also maybe I like a bit political graffiti. You know, I was a big fan of Banksy when I was young because it felt, you know, that he was talking to the people actually, and when art is made it for some little circles, no, sometimes can get a bit weak, but still. I think when it's for the people art, it's amazing.
I like this idea, and that's why sometimes I wonder on conceptual art or contemporary art, because sometimes to me it feels like it's not that democratic so much for the people, right? Because not many can understand it unless you read or really research into it, I feel.
It's true. I think, yeah, that if the majority of people, no, if you don't get to the people, it's hard to be defined art, no, also, because it needs to be democratic, no, as you were saying, and but I also think that developing a thought, and if it's well done, and if it's thought in a proper way, you need time also to absorb it, to understand it. So give time to art, it's important. To observing art, it's important.
Would you say that the school you attended, the art school you attended, helped you with developing, your thought, or the one you're developing right now? But like, was it something that was part of your journey as a student?
Sure. Since I was a kid, in the elementary school, I remember myself drawing a lot and always doodling on the pages, square pages, and I remember I was drawing a lot, obviously without looking for a meaning. It was more like a childish way of throwing out things. But then the practice starts, so you get more into it. The brain goes in places where I felt good, while drawing. I felt that time was passing in a different way. I could fight the spleen, the boring part of life. So in that sense, I started at school, drawing, and not painting at the time, but still drawing, and ink, pens, all the kind of stuff. And in that time, I decided that this topic was calling my attention, and I probably had to develop it, this fire that I was feeling. So at that time, I remember while drawing, with my friend at school, and also like tattooing, ourselves, trying to experiment this kind of the first approach to painting. And then at that time, I decided that I should have developed it, and I chose this. We have in Italy this kind of high school, that is called artistic high school, and where you can actually touch different topics of art. You have graphic design, you have architecture, figurative painting. So in that sense, I started to also draw from life. That is a thing that I didn't have the chance to do before. We had this teacher, a figurative painting teacher that was guiding us to represent all the sculptures, and we were pretty young. I was 15, 14 at the time. So in that sense, I liked, to develop this language. So it got in me a little bit, and at that point, I decided that I had this teacher. Actually, it was a nun school, my high school. So I had this art history teacher that she was a nun, Suor Martina. She didn't have a lot of things to do, during the day, so she was really into studying art history, and I think she transmitted it to me in a way that I really I was seeing myself, in every kind of artistic period, that she was telling to us, that she was explaining to us in such a solid way. And I remember every time, I feel like this, I feel like this. So I think I chose this path, this road also for the people that inspired me in that period.
That's beautiful. Like, did many of the students that were attending Liceo Artistico with you decided to take the same journey that you did, like going into arts, or?
I think not as many as I would have liked to. I think we have this sentence in Italy. You learn art and you put it aside. La metti da parte. It's a strange job. It's a strange path that you choose, because it's not as solid as many jobs can be. So in that sense, the risk of an 18-year-old person to choose this path, it's a bit more hard.
Have you ever been afraid of this when choosing art as your future life?
Like every day, I think. Every day until now. No, there is obviously, it's a risky job, it's a risky way. I had the luck, of a family that supported me in that sense, so I'm aware that you have to have the chance to do it, but the first that has to choose it is yourself, no? So nobody will do it for you. That's the point.
And do you believe in the fact that if you believe in art so much, if you put all the effort that you can, you actually find a way to make it through it and live off your art, or you're more cynical about this?
No, I think in my point of view, everything, no, it's not sure, because future is unpredictable always, but still I think that the effort and the consistency of an idea, is the thing that makes it happen, no, at the end. So yeah, in the sense, yes, hard work and focus, it's the goal for me.
I know you're very disciplined, and that's why I admire you actually, like, that I do. And, that makes me remember the first time I met you at the academy, because you were actually the first person who introduced to me, and you were like, okay, nice to meet you, I'm Giotto, which is an uncommon name in Italy, and it's actually such an important name, especially if you work in the arts. So I always wonder if you come from the arts world or not.
No, not at all. My parents aren't in art, 0%. But no, it's a strange story. It's a fun story. I always tell that we had this the neighbor's dog was called Giotto, and my mother got fascinated by this amazing name, and she called me in that way. I think it affected my decisions of all the years after that the day. I keep it very, it's part of me now, no? It's doesn't really care, not the name obviously, but I remember, we have also this brand, of pen, of pastels that it's branded Giotto. So I remember a hard childhood trying to go through, these name jokes that I could have received, but I chose this type of life also because I think it affected me in a way. Luckily, they didn't call me Adolf. I could have
Who
been.
knows what would have happened in that case?
I could have been the best. No, I'm joking, obviously.
And how did you choose the art school to go? You went to Barcelona Academy of Art, right? But how did you know that was the right school for you?
So I remember when I had to choose, what to do after the high school. I wanted to dedicate my career to art, and I thought that the main step, the first initial step, it was to learn how to paint and to draw, because I felt, studying all the history of art Italian also history of art, that we have, I found necessary. I found myself I need to learn how to paint and to draw figuratively. And at the time, there weren't that much academies like today that focus in this kind of step-by-step approach. There was Florence that was obviously calling my attention, because Florence, it's Florence. And there was this amazing school there it's an American school in Florence, and there was that one, there was one in Barcelona and one other in New York at the time. So I was 18 years old and with this will to do something in my life, but also to having experience, to get out of the comfort zone. So that's why I chose Barcelona, because I felt it more challenging in a way. So I remember these years as a gift, because actually I had the chance to go there, and I know I'm a lucky person, to have the possibility to travel and to study things that is not so common, But since I had the chance, I took everything about it, So I remember. Barcelona is a strange place. It's a fun place. It's a very creative, very liberal place. And I grew up there. I learned a lot about life. I learned a lot about painting and art, actually, because I found amazing teachers and amazing people, that were spreading knowledge happily to other people. It was an amazing period of my life. Yeah, I liked it.
That sounds amazing. I think going to such an academy would be everyone's dream for those who
Exactly.
love art. So that's very beautiful. And when you had to choose the school, was it clear for you like the different methods that different academies were using, or was it mostly the same around all the academies? Because this is something I struggle to understand at times.
No, I think that choice was the choice to attend an academy that was really figurative. At the time, it was a revolutionary choice because academy we had plenty, of academies in Italy, very good places, and also around Europe. But the ones that it was strange, people were telling me, are you drawing figurative, painting like in the past, So, but at the time I just didn't want to look at the mirror, at 40, 50, and being an artist and cannot be able to draw. That would be heavy for me, for my psychological approach on myself. So in that sense, I just chose to be a little bit more to train, to sweat, to blood, to cry, in front of painting and drawing, because it's important, I think.
And how did you know you wanted to paint figuratively? Was there an artist or someone who really inspired you towards that direction?
But more than one single artist, there was this. I remember this idea of being able to do it, in order to then break the rules. It's like the classical Picasso phrase, learn the rule and then break it. I feel it's a good rule. I mean, in writing, if you don't know the grammar, you cannot write a book. I mean, sometimes you can, but it's a different futurist, and stuff like this. No, but still, I think the same in art or in music. You cannot play a song if you don't do the notes. Nowadays, it's easier, It's easier to find easier path to do stuff. So in my case, I didn't want the easy solution, and actually, I'm a big fan of all the painters, that 19th century painters. I think I love them. I love them because I had more information about that people, about those artists than the previous one, than the Renaissance. I felt
From
more
high school or
connected.
From Barcelona Academy of Art.
But from general knowledge, but I felt more connected with the people that lived close to my period, to close to the present now.
And do you think it was mostly because of how closer they were to us, or was it because of the style or the topics they were talking about?
I think the topics, because painting got a little bit more deep in terms of topics that they were facing while going towards us, So I think that approach, emotional approach on painting is the things that calls my attention, the research of beauty, but also the putting yourself into the canvas, bleeding in front of the canvas. For me, it's something that it's really important. It's also important for my life. I approach it in a way that it's very helpful for me, like throwing things to the canvas and trying to discover myself through the paintings.
And actually, this makes me think of something you told me once, which was like, you do art better when you suffer. And why is it true for you? Is it because of what you just said?
I'm not sure about this sentence. I still feel that the most true things, comes out when you are desperate. No, not desperate, but
when you're strong emotion.
When you're feeling strong emotion. When you're comfortable, things struggle to come out. So in the uncomfort start to grow this also fire, the needs of saying things. So in that sense, I believe I prefer art that it's a bit more a bit in the line, between the feelings of the people that painted it. So in that sense, I appreciate more that kind of art, an art that it's more sensible, more deep, more suffering in a way.
Are you thinking about any artist in particular?
No, I have a lot of contemporary artists, that I am inspired to, that are painting like this. But also, I always think it's not actually what you paint, but it's the way you paint that makes it very, very strong, very emotionally also impactful.
Can you make an example here?
But like Van Gogh, for example, no, that is the easiest example. Very bright colors, very um, like brush strokes, no, that are really expressive, researched. But still, you can feel the person when you look at Van Gogh's painting, and I want to see the person behind the painting, and I feel you can feel the struggle, no, you can feel it's like the emotion of the painter.
I don't think that's very easy to put in the canvas. I think it takes many years as well, right?
I mean, actually, the children do it properly, no, because the children aren't affected by all the ideas, no, that can corrupt us a little bit. So actually, I'm not sure.
At the same time, I feel that this contradicts a little bit what we were saying before, because we were saying that like technique is important, right? But the children don't have technique. At the same time, you can
Exactly.
understand all the feelings they have there.
But that's why art is great, you know. I love like abstract art because I think there are personalities, you know, in the artwork that can express properly, you know, feelings through that path. I think everyone is different, you know, in this world, and everyone needs to find his own way of expressing himself. In my case, it was just a need, you know, of because also representational art, I like it a lot. I like to tell stories in a way, I like movies a lot. So the idea also of the emotion that a scene can give you, it's pretty important. So I'm more toward that storytelling. No.
Has it ever happened like that a movie inspired one of your paintings?
Well, actually, yes. I had this self-portrait I made at like 22 when I got back from Barcelona. I'm super in love with the movie La Haine, L'Odio, it's called in Italian. And it's a really amazing black and white movie, you know, telling about these suburbs, you know, out of Paris. And I got stuck in some scenes, no, that aesthetically caught my attention. So I did this self-portrait with the gun, and I had fun, no, doing it. And I think it's enough. No, it's enough having something to say, trying to do it in a way that calls your attention, and also some references, no, that can. I like when you see something and you see yourself in it also, no? So I think that this kind of inspiration can also be part of someone else, no?
That's very beautiful. And regarding those who inspired you, I asked you about the artists, but you said you met amazing teachers as well in Barcelona. Was there anyone who really shaped the artist you are right now, your artistic vision? Maybe it was not one of the teachers, so feel free to answer whoever comes to your mind.
No, I think that in Barcelona I had teachers from all over the world. I remember Russia, Latin America, but like every country of the world. And I think that was the thing that inspired me the most, no? That the connection with all the other people from all the other countries. You can share ideas, no? There isn't a figure in specific, no, that changed my vision in art, but there were like 20 brains, no, that together were working in order to find to also to make a city, to live in a city like Barcelona with a lot of change of thoughts, with a lot of I like the discussion, no, there, the sharing. Everyone was bringing his own reference, no, from the country he lived, from the experience he had. So I think it was a mix of things.
I think the environment you're describing is quite different from what we have in Milan right now, right? Because I don't feel we have so much this exchange at the moment, or maybe I have it wrong.
I mean, I feel that now I'm teaching in this academy, no, in Milan, and I think it's. I know people from all over the world. Now, every time a student comes from a different place, and I also like to listen, know what they have to say about their kind of art and their kind of approach. So I feel that Milan it's a good city to also to build, this kind of international group of people that study art.
Would you say it's good for, artists who want to enter the art world, or there are more appropriate cities in this case?
I don't think there is a city. Yeah, it's not the city that makes the difference. It's true that if you are born in a little town like me, in Bersago, very, very far away from everything, I think it's necessary to move into where the things happens at the end. So the city itself doesn't really change, but in the city there are more people. There is more inspiration also. So I think it's important to get out, to go out from home, because in home everything is easy.
Yeah. So you're happy about being in Milan?
I'm happy. I like the city. Yeah, it's very small. It's very. It's beautiful. Half of it it's beautiful. Half of it's a bit ugly, but still it's very inspiring. I know a lot of people, and I have a lot of fun also. I like it.
You like it. And what is something that really gave you a lot of satisfaction or pride in the work you've done in the artistic world? What's your biggest satisfaction?
For me, I think my big satisfaction is that I'm still young. I feel that I'm 27, and I'm living with my art, So this is the thing that I was fighting for, and the things that I achieved as soon as I could. It was hard, I felt myself in situation that where I was actually struggling, because I had problems also with, but still. I think that I'm proud of what I'm doing now. I'm trying to develop a language, that it's very personal, so I don't need to. I want it to be on my very personal path, so I'm not in rush. I'm just chilling, actually, trying to paint and chill and be coherent, being true. For me, that is the important part.
No, really well done, because I don't think it's something very easy to achieve, so I get why this is something you're very proud of. And sometimes I wonder, since you're managing to live with your art, a little bit by teaching, a little bit with commissions and so on, do you still have time to experiment on your art and to develop it as years go on?
Sure, there is this idea, of I'm a big fan of painting for yourself when painting, so that's why I try to schedule my day, my weeks, my month, not having the necessity of selling a painting because I have to sell it, so I prefer that a painting is true rather than sellable, and people sees it at the end, people see people are not stupid, so it's very. I think it needs to be true. That's the real point. I still think that doing a lot of stuff, it takes out my. If I could dedicate, 24 hours, 12 hours per day to my personal project, I would be much happier, for sure. Maybe I would struggle more interiorly, because I know that being with yourself, with myself, especially with my thoughts, can be a little deep and risky, but I think that art comes from that. So I would love to dedicate more time to it, and actually I'm gonna do it very soon, because I'm building the steps actually to be able to do it. And in art it's not easy, in art it's you have to survive in a way.
And right now, would you say you're managing to put some time of the day, of the week, or of the month just for yourself and what you want to do, not thinking about work?
Yeah, I think I'm dedicating a part of it just to expressing myself, and it's amazing, because when you're painting something and it's not requested and it's not you're just throwing to the world something that is very personal, very yourself. But until it's not sold, it's not even, it's not a job. Yeah. Until it's not sold. So this is pretty tricky, for artists, because you are doing something for yourself that then start to become work and then start to become job. you work with galleries also, so it's good now that you get connected with other people, other personalities that appreciate your art, and this makes me happy, when you sell, when you try to show a painting that you made for yourself. I think it's the best thing an artist can have, the feedback of the people.
And I think it's scary when you get out of art school, you're just thrown there in the world, and I mean you need to survive as an artist or whatever. Like, which kind of advice would you give to people who are just going through this phase?
Don't go to art school. No, I'm joking, but still I think that art school creates an environment where people get passionate by the things that they are learning, and it creates but it's all about us. It's when you finish an art school, you are the one that needs to create a path of producing a lot, and also trying to survive, to work, and it's difficult, but I think doing it is the solution. Whatever time you have left, if you just dedicate 1 hour to it, it's enough. It's not that or you do this or you don't do this. Mm-hmm. You can do it slowly, you can do it finding your time, because the point is putting yourself there. It's not having feedbacks, it's not having...
Yeah. And by joking, you said don't go to art school, and actually this makes me wonder, do you think that to be an artist, going to art school is really fundamental?
I think in my case it was necessary, because I needed the thing to be scheduled for me at the beginning, when I went out from the high school. I was also 18, and in Barcelona, so like you have distractions, around the city and stuff. So the art school gives you the solidity, the time schedule, the discipline, in order to improve and to know people, to start this kind of. But I know super good artists that didn't do art schools at all. So.
Oh, really? So, do you have any particular advice for those who cannot afford to go to art school but still want to fulfill this dream of being an artist one day? So they are self-taught artists, or
to work a lot, to paint and draw, but it's not actually what you paint and draw. It's true that the research that you are doing needs to be deep. You cannot start drawing yourself. I think it needs to be scheduled, but we live in 2025. There is internet, a lot of free information around, and I think technically you can actually improve by watching videos, by watching tutorials, by working a lot, though. Yeah. Working a lot.
Yeah. And okay, I think last question. What's your biggest dream now as an artist? I mean, you've come so far. You've made so many things. You're so young still, and you're living as an artist. So I think that's already something, as you said, something to be proud of. So what's your biggest dream? If anything could happen in this world, don't put yourself limit.
But I mean, I want to be able, to travel, to know other people through art, So for me now the goal is actually to develop, a series of paintings, that really represent myself, But for me, art is more for telling people. So my goal is to tell to as a maximum number of people, that to paint, and that they can see themselves in the paintings. They, I mean, people in general, you, me, Vera, whoever. So it's just I don't have like a ambitious goal. I want to be successful in art, but just because I want to live with it, and I want to continue doing this. And so if I have the chance to continue doing this, it's for me it's already a goal. Living for painting and painting for living. This is the main goal. And then obviously there are a lot of aspects in life that everybody you need to feed yourself, you need to travel, you need to go around. So I think that if I can do it with art, for me it's amazing, it's okay.
very beautiful, Joe. Thank you so much. Like, I think your words were very inspiring. I hope that
Thank you.
someone else will find also inspiring. And
Thank you.
yeah, it was amazing having a chat together.
Great.
Thank you, Joe.